It's time for another edition of Behind the Book. It's Gill Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Jay Rude, Vice President Race and Sports, MGM Resorts International. It's all brought to you by the playMGM app. And this week, Jay, as you very well know, live from Mandalay Bay, right adjacent to the sportsbook here at Mandalay Bay, which also happens to be the site of baseball's winter meetings. Big stuff going on here.
Yeah, big stuff. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of negotiations going on with teams and players, free agents. There's a couple of big prizes out there that people are trying to get. Our own local homegrown Bryce Harper is on the market, and there's a lot of teams interested in him, so I'm sure there's...
Where do you think he ends up? Any guess?
If I had to guess, if I had to put up odds on it, I would say he's going to be a Philadelphia Philly.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Well, we should check out what your futures prices are on the Phillies coming up later on the show.
I think they're probably good value right now because they did sign a guy the other day.
Gene Segura?
Yes.
From the Mariners?
Right.
I believe that's who you mean. What's definitely the case is that whatever deals get done, they will get done here at Mandalay Bay today or throughout the rest of the week, because stuff happens during the MLB winter meetings. This is not just some dog and pony show. Actual deals get made. We'll be here not only to talk about baseball futures later, but also, of course, the NFL games with big playoff implications, and betting opportunities abound. We'll get to all of it. It's Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app, live from Mandalay Bay. Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app. It's Gill Alexander from VSiN, and the star of the show, Jay Rude, Vice President, Race and Sports, MGM Resorts International. Man who wields so much power, we can't even keep it in the building.
Tell my wife and daughters that.
I will tell them that.
Yeah.
I'll be sure to. All right, let's talk football, National Football League. First, a look back to last week. Great week, I'm guessing, for you guys behind the book.
Pretty good week. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Specifically, the Dolphins and the Patriots, the Miami Miracle, Jay. I was among many who had the Patriots on the money line, maybe, in a parlay.
Let me ask you about your teasers. How'd they do this week?
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Nothing went well last week. But on that change, on that last play where the Dolphins miraculously down 5, laterals, Kenyon Drake ends up scoring for the Dolphins. The Dolphins win it outright against the Patriots. MGM Properties alone, how much money shifted on that one play?
Ooh, yeah. That was mid 6 figures for us easily.
Wow.
You're going from looking like you're going to cover with the Pats to losing outright in literally like, I don't know what it was, 30 seconds, 40 seconds, something like that.
Well, less than that.
But, we did learn one thing for sure, is that Gronk should not play defense.
He
That's for
should not
sure.
be in there.
Yeah.
Poor angle, and then he stumbled. Yeah, shouldn't be in there. Bill Belichick not absolved of criticism in that game, that's for sure. Beyond that as well. So the Dolphins come in off that win.
Dolphins maintain that strong record at home in December against the Patriots, which is...
They do.
Inexplicable. I mean, that game was not a game that the Patriots wanted to let go by any stretch of the imagination.
No, absolutely not.
And just didn't get it done.
Big hit on the Patriots as far as their quest to get home field in the AFC. Doesn't look like that's going to happen now. But it's the Dolphins now traveling to face Minnesota. Minnesota got destroyed by Seattle on Monday night. Really just a cosmetic garbage touchdown. Otherwise, the Vikings get shut out in that game. But you have a 7-6 Dolphins team that right now is in a scrum for the number 2 wild card position, tied actually with the Ravens, Titans, and Colts at 7-6 in the AFC. And then the Vikings at 6-1. Right now, they've got the number 2 wild card position in the NFC, but just a half-game lead over 3 teams, Redskins, Eagles, Carolina, and a 1-game lead over the Packers. So they've got to get this done. Both teams, huge implications.
Not a real scary pack chasing you either.
No.
I mean, all you got to do is get some wins.
Not at all.
I don't think you got to worry about any one of those teams getting super hot and overtaking you. You just need to get your act together and get some wins. And that game Monday night, I don't know, you don't have an older brother, do you?
I do.
You do. Did he ever pin you down and hold your arms down and hit you right in the forehead over and over and over?
It's like you had cameras.
That's exactly what that game felt like Seattle was doing to Minnesota.
Yeah.
It was pathetic to watch almost.
It's 7 points in favor of the homestanding Vikings in this game. The total's at 44.5. This will not leave the 7, right?
I doubt it, yeah. I mean, this is going to be a weird game people to bet. We'll probably need Minnesota a little bit just based off of what they saw, but maybe people will get inspired because they're going to have a different guy calling the plays.
They will.
Not that he was that bad. I just think, there's a lot of things working against Minnesota right now.
John DeFilippo, the Vikings' former offensive coordinator, no longer there. Ousted right after that game against the Seahawks. It was more than 7 earlier in the week. It's 7 now. Vikings favored over the Dolphins. Live from Mandalay Bay, once again, it's Behind the Book. Gill Alexander from VEASAN, Jay Rude from MGM Resorts International, a man drunk with power, overseeing 10 different books here in the desert, not to mention now books in other jurisdictions.
3 more books.
Good.
In other jurisdictions.
3 more. All right, that's 13.
And another one coming close to you soon.
That's right, right by your place. So the Colts are hosting the Cowboys, Jay. Colts favored by 3 in this game. The total's at 47. We talked about the Colts earlier in the last segment because the Colts right now tied for that number 2 position wild card wise in the AFC. They have an outside shot at winning the AFC South, but that's probably not going to happen. They need a total collapse from the Texans at this point. The Cowboys traveling to Indy. The Cowboys, for all intents and purposes, not mathematically clinch the NFC East yet, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to win this. They just need 1 win here or an Eagles and Redskin loss. Cowboys are going to get this division, so they're in coast mode right here, although, they want to get it done.
Right.
But 3 points, that's the spread, 47. What do you think you'll need here?
So, I think the Cowboys on a 3-game win streak right now, a lot of people get into the cashier window with them, which is significant. Indianapolis, just silently going through the year, plucking teams off left and right. Stopping Texans' win streak is huge.
9-game win streak.
Yeah. 9-game win streak, division game for them. I really thought that they were going to play them tough. I didn't think they'd get the win. Pretty impressed with the Colts. Early in the week right now, we're taking on some sharp money on the Colts. Numbers driving up a bit. But I got to believe when it comes game time, day of the game, we're going to see nothing but public money pouring in on the Cowboys in this game.
Even maybe taking it back from the 3?
I think we'll probably just pull down to maybe 3 minus $1.20 plus 3 minus $1.20 on the Cowboys. Because once we get to the 3, what we've been pushed off of that spot, the sharps have shown their hand that they're willing to lay the Colts at a short price under a field goal in Indianapolis. So, it's going to be a pros versus Joes game. I think it's going to be a classic one because if we continue to get a lot of Cowboy money, the plus 3 even could be really attractive as well. So we'll be bouncing back and forth on 3, I think.
I would sort of urge people also to think, the Cowboys, the most public of all teams, betting-wise. The Cowboys, like so many teams in the NFL this year, particularly magnified this year, home-road splits, which we talk about in baseball all the time. The Cowboys are a great example of an NFL team this year. You almost have to handicap them one way when they're at home and entirely differently when they're on the road. So people are going to be affected by the recent win streak, certainly by their performance against the Eagles in overtime. Don't be affected by recency. Think about the Cowboys differently on the road. That would be my advice.
It's hard to win in the NFL on the road. I mean, you don't break serve in the NFL very often. I mean, it's hard to win on the road, but I thought you were going to, give some wisdom and say, tease this up. Tease it through 7, and tell everyone to start jumping on the home dog or if you like the Cowboys, tease it up. So we'll see how it goes.
If you are going to tease one of them, that would be the side to tease.
This could easily fall double tease, both sides a winner.
Yeah, we've had a lot of
Which is
those.
always fun for me.
That's right. It's always fun when we can just walk up to the counter without even naming a team and be like, I'd like a teaser.
Yeah, let's have a winner.
Cowboys at the Colts. Colts favored by 3, total 47. Right here behind the book from Mandalay Bay, brought to you by the playMGM app. Back on Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app, live from Mandalay Bay, site of the baseball winter meetings, MLB winter meetings, and a lot is getting done already. Moments ago, Jay, Charlie Morton to the Rays just happened in this building right now.
Yep, right. A lot of big business happening here.
Yep.
I mean, there's a couple of big guys still out there. Bryce Harper, Machado still out there.
Machado and Harper, they're the big fish out there. Machado, where do you think he's ending up, Machado? If you had to speculate.
Yankees.
Okay, and the key to that is, it's all speculation right now, but what have you done from your perspective? You're not allowing us, Jay, to go in there and saying, if I think he's going to the Phillies, maybe there's a 25-1 out there on the Phillies to win the World Series. No, you wouldn't even give us that, would you?
Well, we've been down this road before. We've gotten burned a couple of times in the past, with the LeBron James sort of thing. You know, everyone's speculating where he's going, and if you get caught with your pants down and he goes somewhere that you don't anticipate, and you've got a big number on that, and the word gets out a little bit before maybe the general public knows it, then we got an issue. So in what we've done recently, anytime we're in these big free agency signing periods or trading periods, we just suppress the odds for a short period of time until we know where things are going to shake out. You know, we cut it anywhere between 20 and 30%, like overall the main contenders. Also, we can't cut everybody too deep. You know, like if a team is 300-1 and Machado and Harper and a couple of really good pitchers suddenly land on one team and they create a super team, it is what it is. We're going to be caught with some liability. We're going to be in a Golden Knights position again. But that's why they call it gambling, and that's why we put it up on the board, and they'll play the national anthem tomorrow, and we'll go at it one more time.
Golden Knights were what, 500-1 at your open?
500-1, yeah. We had a few tickets at that. Generally, most of the damage for us was done at 300.
Well, that's not the most fun answer, but after all, it's a business you're running.
It's a business I'm running. I have an obligation to my direct reports, our stockholders,
So all you bettors out there who want to just like slam Jay, he's got his own interests. Winter meetings, always fun here. Celebrities, luminaries as I like to call them. Baseball luminaries just walking left and right.
Luminaries, is that the thing in the bag with the candle?
It is not.
Oh,
It is not, Jay.
From New Mexico?
MLB Winter Meetings live from Mandalay Bay. We're stationed right outside the sports book, having a good time. We'll do more football next, yes?
Next.
We'll do it on Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app. Back on Behind the Book, live from Mandalay Bay, hosts of MLB Winter Meetings this year. Quite the scene. Baseball dignitaries, luminaries, whatever areas you want to talk about, they're here doing their thing. It's Gill Alexander from VEASAN, Jay Rue from MGM. Let us continue with football. Big games in the NFL, Week 15. The Steelers hosting the Patriots. This is a rematch of that game last year where Jesse James had a catch and then didn't have a catch, if you recall. Patriots end up beating the Steelers. This time, though, the Patriots 2-point road favorites. I'm a little surprised by that. I do a guessing line show on Mondays at VEASAN, and I thought the Steelers would be favorites here. Not the case at all. Not only that, it was one yesterday, already bet up to 2.
Yeah, your community is starting to press it up. Sharp community. What's there not to like about the Patriots meltdown in the last minute? That's obviously an anomaly, and they're going to come back and play well at Pittsburgh, which Pittsburgh never plays well at home. There's a lot of logical reasons for this to be happening, right?
Well, here's the thing. Recency, we talked about this earlier. Last that people saw the Steelers, they were busy going into Oakland, who had won 2 games prior to last week. And Pittsburgh, as they always seem to do on an annual basis, they have one road clunker.
See,
and that was it.
But that makes sense, though, because Oakland is clearly an inferior team, so they beat the Steelers because Miami beat Oakland, so the Miami loss to the Patriots is not that bad. I mean, if you just apply some simple logic here, Gil,
I think we learned this
all
in
works
geometry.
out.
Is this transitive property?
It's all
like
algorithms.
You don't even know what that word even means, I think. It is 2, though. Do you expect this to get all the way to 3? Based on this trajectory here midweek?
No.
No. You'll say no.
I say no. So that means it's absolutely going to go to 3.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to go with that. I do think, though, if I'm with you, I actually think there'll be some late Pittsburgh money.
Yeah,
that's my guess.
I mean, Pittsburgh at home, that's when Pittsburgh gets backed, and they get backed heavily, usually at home.
Yeah.
Although this Pittsburgh team is not a team that instills a ton of confidence this year in making sure that you get to the cashier window when you bet on them at home. There's some warts on both these teams coming out of this, but I think they both need a win big here in order to sort of secure the space that they want to be in going into the playoffs. That Patriot team really, 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 I think psychologically it's going to be big for them to have a bye.
Who needs this game more, though? The Patriots, they've got the AFC East. I know not clinched officially yet, but for all intents and purposes, they've got that division. Pittsburgh has a half-game lead over the Baltimore Ravens. Pittsburgh is in the AFC North. Pittsburgh is in one of these weird situations with 3 weeks left. And by the way, they've got New Orleans next week as well. Pittsburgh right now in playoff position with a division win, they could just as easily be completely out of the playoffs if things go bad for them here. So they need this badly, if that matters to anyone who's handicapping.
I mean,
out there.
it depends on what your definition of need for, right? I think the Patriots need this game to get that bye. I think if the Patriots go into the playoffs without the bye, it's a bit of a psychological issue for them because they're always in that position.
Yeah.
But obviously, to get to the playoffs, it's Pittsburgh needs this game big. I think that we are going to need the Patriots in this particular game. We're taking a little bit of money running up early in the week from the Sharps, but I think the Steelers will get backed at home by the general public. So we're going to be in the weird position of needing the Patriots, which doesn't happen very often.
Nothing wrong with that, I guess. So Patriots money now, you're predicting Steelers money later, and you're predicting that therefore you will need the Patriots.
Yes.
Did we get all that? We got all that. Patriots by 2.
And it'll stay under 3.
Patriots by 2. There's your prediction. And the total, 52, quite high. That's a big one. Sunday afternoon at Pittsburgh. It's Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app. It is Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app, live from Mandalay Bay, site of the MLB winter meetings. It's Gill Alexander from VSiN once again with Jay Root, Vice President of Racing Sports, MGM Resorts International. Time to talk Monday Night Football.
Yes, booger time.
Booger time, otherwise known as Booger Time. Why isn't Booger in the booth, by the way? Why is he doing that whole thing?
I don't know. I would. You know what? My fantasy would be?
What's that?
Put Booger and Madden in the booth.
Oh,
that would be outstanding
let
television.
The fireworks begin.
Bring in the guy with the long hair, the comedian that they had in there, to let everyone explain what the two of them are talking about.
Dennis Miller?
Dennis Miller. There you go. Yeah, that would be outstanding television.
And you may fantasize about other things. Jay fantasizes about that. It's New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans favored by 6. 6. Totals at 51.5. By the way, these two teams have yet to play. So they play each other twice in the last 3 weeks of the season, NFC South rivals. But here's the dealio. New Orleans right now tied with the Rams for the best record in the NFC. New Orleans has the tiebreaker. They beat the Rams. Yeah. So New Orleans wins out. They've got home field throughout, and you do not want to go to the Superdome in the playoffs. And then there's the Panthers. Losers of 5 in a row. They were 6-2. Now they're 6-7. They're a half game out of the final playoff position. Still got a shot. But man, if you've seen Cam Newton play football lately, goal-to-go situations, no touch whatsoever. McCaffrey does everything for them, but it's not working out for Ron Rivera.
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have stepped in dog poop, and no matter how much you rub it against the grass to try and get that smell out, it's still there. Something is really wrong with this team.
Very technical analysis.
Yeah, and it's just you can't get the stink off this team right now. And I mean, 6 at home, 6-point dog at home for a team that looked pretty good, after week 5 maybe.
Yeah,
it's a huge turnaround, and I mean, what a gift. I mean, how does this set up for New Orleans the last few weeks here to be able to play this team twice?
Yeah,
just basically secures they're going to be the number 1 seed, I would think, in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, I get to root for dog poop team this week. We're going to need Carolina pretty big. I think this number probably gets closer to 7 than going down. That's for damn sure.
And if it's 6 or 7, that indicates that if the game's in New Orleans, which it will be in 2 weeks, that means New Orleans will be favored by 9 or 10 or even more
11
against Carolina, who was 6-2 a month ago.
Well, we're talking off camera. I mean,
yeah.
Cam might not be there, so that could be 12.5 or 13
right.
then.
Yeah, if they're out of it, Cam's off to maybe have surgery if you believe that he needs that. So, yeah, it could be a different story week 17, which is always a squirrely week. As for now, week 15, it is the Saints by 6 at Carolina. Means a whole bunch to both teams. Saints to get home field, Carolina just to survive and stay alive in the NFC playoff race. That'll do it. Behind the Book for Week 15 in the National Football League. Again, thanks to everybody here at Mandalay Bay. Such a great atmosphere for MLB's winter meetings. Happy to be here. Next week, who knows? Maybe the Mirage.
Go back home.
Go back to where it all started.
That's right.
For Jay Root, the Vice President of MGM Resorts International, racing sports, of course, specifically. I'm Gill Alexander from the Vegas Stats and Information Network. Thank you so much for watching Behind the Book, brought to you by the playMGM app. Good luck, as always, with all your bets this week.